Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back to the channel for this installment of Open Mic, the live stream where all we do is take your live comments and questions, asking them to you guys, what do you guys want to talk about? And that's what we're going to discuss here today. Joining me in studio, we got Ray Ora.
Yes.
Sitting right beside him is Jonathan
He
Boyko.
concurs. I am here too.
Myself, John Campea, is here. And most importantly, you guys are here. Good to see you guys. And we're going to get right into it. Now, how do you get a question on Open Mic? Well, there's two different ways to do it. Number one, the tip link. Now, this is something you can use when we're not live. Like when we're live, you can send in questions live. But if you're watching this at like 2:30 in the morning and you decide, hey, I want to send in a question for the next show, go ahead and use our tip link at streamelements.com/JohnCampea/tip. And you can send that in there. Or if you are watching live and want to send in a question, go ahead and use the super chat feature that's there in the live chat box. Right now, the super chats are open if you want to send one in, but they'll only be open for a while longer. So make sure you send one in quickly. Now, before we get to those, though, you know, talking a lot today about Spider-Man Across the SpiderVerse. Ray, you and I went to go see it yesterday.
Yep.
You enjoyed it a lot.
Absolutely.
I enjoyed it a lot.
It's good for you guys.
Jonathan did not see it. He's not bitter at all, though.
Nah.
It's good to see you dealing with that, not being bitter at all.
Sorry, I just clenched my fist a lot.
When are you seeing it?
Monday night.
Not till Monday.
Man.
Wow. Well, you're going to enjoy it. It is one of the greatest comic book films of all time. Might be the best comic book film of all time. Again, I'm kind of still living in the afterglow of it, so give me some time to maybe mellow that out a little bit. But it is incredible. But the question is, how much money will it make this weekend? Now, if you go back, we did a video about this a little bit earlier on the channel. If you go back to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the first film that came out in 2018, it had a preview night of $3.5 million and went on to make $35 million opening weekend. Now, the preview night for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse jumped from 3.5 million of the first film to 17.3, almost 5 times more than that did. Now, the current projections for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse for opening weekend are $80 to $90 million, which represent more than double what the last film made opening weekend. But I'm telling you what, the word of mouth on this has been huge. And I am really starting to think that this thing is going to maybe exceed $100 million. I think it was going to be $80 to $90 million, which would be totally good. But man, with these reactions, with this word of mouth that we're getting, I think there's a lot of people right now changing their plans this weekend to go see Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse, that came out in 2018.
2018.
That was somewhere in the middle of the Tom Holland saga, right? We were still in the midst of it.
Yeah, the Tom Holland movies were ongoing at that point. Yep.
Then we had the Venom movies, and then a thing that I think it might be going for it too is that this is the only Spider-Man we have in the near future. I mean,
yeah, we don't have any more Spider-Man. I mean, the last Spider-Man we had was No Way Home.
And also,
so it's been a little while, and it's going to be a little while.
And also, I'm speaking for myself. I had no idea who Miles Morales was when Into the Spider-Verse.
I think a lot of people were like that.
And that may have stopped people from
maybe
going to see that one too. So this one it's got some momentum, I think, to going into this weekend. I'm saying I'm pegging it at maybe 119.
So you're going up closer to 120.
Yeah,
I was edging towards 120 as well.
Yeah, again, the projections are usually pretty close. So I'm going to stay a little more conservative. I'm going to go 110. But either way, I think we all believe that it's going to exceed those projections of 90 million.
And the studio's expectations, right?
Yeah, obviously. I think it's going to exceed their expectations too. I just think this movie is so good. It's just that good. And guys, I just can't wait for the rest of you guys to see it.
And then imagine the next one. If this one makes it big, that could be even bigger.
Well, its opening will be huge. Now, then how much it can make will be all depend on how good the third one is. But yes, the third one will open huge because it's going to be building on the momentum of this movie. 100%. By the way, King Daddy Goat in the live chat just became a member. Or no, celebrating an anniversary. A 2-month anniversary. Congratulations, King Daddy Goat. Thanks for being around here. And thanks for being a channel member. All right. Guys, a question is for you. What do you think about this? How big of an opening weekend can Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse be? They're pegging it for minimum double what the first one did. I'm thinking racing and maybe can get close to triple. I'm thinking it's going to exceed $100 million. What do you guys think? Whatever you think, you jump on down and leave a comment down below. All right. With that down, guys, let's get over to your questions here, shall we? We'll start off with the tip questions that you guys have sent in. So, Jonathan, what do we got?
Me not the father. I got this email from Peacock for a year subscription for $19.99. If I use the code Summer of Peacock, not making this up. At this point, Peacock is doing this on purpose. Then he goes on to say, I feel like Will Ferrell and the other guy saying, you're doing this on purpose, quoting TLC songs here. And Michael Keaton or Peacock is like, I don't know what you're talking about. Just don't go chasing waterfalls, man. Bring on the donuts.
You know what? He says a year of Peacock for $19.99.
That's a good deal,
Yeah, maybe
man.
you should type in Summer of Peacock and just get it.
I don't know if I could bring myself to typing in Summer of Peacock, though.
Yeah.
For $19.99, I can.
Although I will say this. What movie was it? I just found. Oh, yeah. Renfield comes out on Peacock in a week.
Oh,
Next week, Renfield
I
comes
haven't
out on
seen
Peacock.
that movie yet.
It's only $1.66 a month.
I mean, now, I'm sure that's probably still going to be ad supported. I'm sure that's not the ad-free version you're going to get for $19.99 a month. That's pretty good, but I just don't know that. I think I would rather pay $4 extra a month just so I don't have to type out Summer of Peacock.
And I think Peacock actually has the WWE in there too now, right?
I think, haven't they had it for a while?
Yeah, but I'm just anyone who's thinking about it and is a wrestling fan, you got that too.
That's actually, that's a pretty good incentive if you're into wrestling. All right, what's next?
All right, the Jonah Files. Disney bought Marvel for $4 billion, now worth $60. I wondered why Nintendo isn't a studio with its IP. Why cede such potential to another company? Turns out they bought Dynamo Pix last year to become Nintendo Pix. Sorry, Illumination, it was a one-time thing.
I don't believe that. I think they probably bought that company for another purpose. Here's the thing. You got to remember, Nintendo for decades has been incredibly hesitant about getting into the movies. Ever since they put out their Super Mario Brothers with Bob Hoskins, like
Can't
so
imagine
many.
why.
I mean, that'll turn you off. It's like taking your first car ride and getting into an accident. It's going to be a while before you get into a car again.
That was a long time ago, though. Man.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, so they finally came back. But listen, Nintendo doesn't know anything about running a movie studio. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like when Disney bought Marvel, they were already in the movie business. Disney knows movies. They were just acquiring IP.
Yep.
Nintendo doesn't know shit about making movies.
And PlayStation Productions, they were under Sony. Sony's been making movies for a long time, too.
Exactly. Right? Like there's good synergy there. And so it's a totally different thing. So give Nintendo a chance. Listen, Nintendo's making big profit working with companies and studios that do know what they're doing. Do not underestimate the difficulty of getting from one branch of business into a totally new branch of business that you know nothing about. It's not a small thing. It's not a little thing. And that's why it kind of behooves them to work with other studios that do know this business and just make money off of it. It's not bad. Now, someday they might be able to do that. They might say you're going to very slowly build into this sort of thing. But right now, there's this company that doesn't know what they're doing.
Also, Xbox, don't get into movies, please.
They tried.
Don't do it. Just stay away.
All right, what's next?
Owen Mono gives us a little bit of an update here. Follow up from yesterday about the girl who put the pancake syrup in her popcorn. So yes, pancake syrup was all over her hands. And I even joked about this part. Every time she had her popcorn, she would wipe her hands on her seat and pants.
Oh my God.
So there's an answer to your question yesterday. That seems like someone that's not really thinking straight.
See,
though.
like that was the thing to me. Like, first of all, I'm kind of grossed out by people who put anything other than butter in their popcorn or a seasoning even. Like it freaks me out when I see people put M&Ms in their popcorn or put
Ooh, that's bomb.
Raisinets in their popcorn. But the idea of like, I don't mind a little bit of a maple syrup flavor in popcorn, but actually pouring maple syrup in, like what? I'm just thinking my hands. Like, what are you?
Yeah.
I don't think she thought that.
No, I mean, I would like, that would be the one time in my life I would eat my popcorn with a fork. I just doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense. All right, what's next?
There's a lot to unpack there. All right, Mr. TJ Lin. With How to Train Your Dragon live action remake, do you think DreamWorks Animation is on the quest to making live action remakes a la Disney like Shrek, Kung Fu Panda, Prince of Egypt, shout out to Ray. My wife thought I looked a bit like Ray. Okay, there
You
you
must
go.
be sexy as hell.
You see him shining.
I don't think. No, I don't think so. Shrek is an animated film. I mean, that's that. You'll never be able to replicate that. What do you think?
Come on, Kung Fu Panda.
Live
you gonna
action.
do that?
How on earth would you do that, though?
Cast me. I'm Kung Fu Panda right here. Let's do it. I'll learn some kicks. I mean, what
Okay,
other properties? What other
Ray
properties?
Poe.
What other properties? What did he say? Kung Fu Panda, Shrek.
Shrek.
Shrek would look cool live action, I think.
How? How do you make Shrek live action?
Like
Like
I
a
could see
big
Prince of
dude.
Egypt, but that's about it.
Oh, that's it. There's no more other.
I mean, there was
DreamWorks?
Prince of Egypt. It was called the Ten Commandments.
Yeah.
They already did a live action Prince of Egypt.
Twice.
I don't think they are.
Oh, Puss in Boots live action.
No.
Well, that's
How
still
do you
the
do
Shrek
it?
version.
I know. Why would you ruin the good thing right now?
No, I don't think they are. I think, listen, the one thing that How to Train Your Dragon has going for it is that the lead characters are human. You can actually put actors in a costume, right? Like, I don't know that you can do Shrek live action, and I don't know that you could do Puss in Boots or stuff like that.
10
And
years. In 10 years.
Hey, listen, ask the question again in even 5 years.
You'll be like, you're right, Ray. It's great.
All right, what's next?
You were right. All right. Mr. TJ Lynn. I understand why there is no movie club for old movies anymore, but if someday you decide to do movie club again, would you ever consider talking about The Departed? I think it would be interesting. Thanks.
Well, I'll tell you what is coming. While we don't do movie club anymore, just because it took far too much prep time to do it for what we were getting for it, but we have been talking for 6 months or whatever about a new segment that we will change the title of it. The working title was Why It's Awesome. A new series of videos that we're going to do called Why It's Awesome. Again, that's not going to be the title. That's just the working title we have right now. We're basically once a week, we revisit a movie, but not like an hour-long discussion video, just like a 5 to 10 minute video, just kind of going over a slightly older movie that maybe doesn't get the love it deserves. And we talk about why it's awesome. You know, why this movie, why The Departed was awesome. What do you
We
think?
could try to do something completely opposite of that. Go to a bad movie and really say, was it really that bad? That would be fun too.
Was it? That's, you know what?
Like the
Was
Mario
it
Brothers
really?
movie after seeing this new Mario Brothers. I mean, that would
Was
have
it
worked.
really that bad?
Yeah, was it that bad? Something like that. That would be great too.
That's actually a really good idea. Mario Brothers, was it really that bad? Catwoman, was it really that bad?
Oh my God! And then we'll be
Battlefield
forced to
Earth.
watch that. in the
Was it
closet.
really
By the way,
that
I'm not
bad?
being forced to watch these. It's your eyes idea. You can
I'm
do
just
that.
saying, like we've seen this way. Let's go the other way.
I'm telling you what, Ray, that's why you make the big bucks around here. That's a $1 million idea. I got to think about that. All right, what's next?
CSC writes, this may be a lesser counterpoint to the Hollywood doesn't make original movies nonsense. What movie is Toy Story 3 a copy of? Or SpiderVerse, Shang-Chi, The Batman? Just because it's not original IPs doesn't mean unique stories aren't still being told.
You know, I remember, I think it was back when I was still doing Movie Talk another lifetime ago, got into this discussion about adapted screenplays and saying, like, people, it's a ridiculous conversation when people look at movies that maybe a movie isn't an original IP, say people don't have creativity anymore. And I say, you're nuts. It actually takes a writer with more creativity to adapt something than I think to write an original screenplay. Because you're writing an original screenplay, right? You can do whatever you want. It's anything you want, right? It's easy. It's easier. Let me rephrase that. It's easier. The work of a screenwriter is not easy. Let me be very clear.
No.
But I actually find people who are able to adapt other material, I believe that takes even more creativity. That takes a lot more because you have some limitations. You have to work within certain parameters. Whereas, hey, we're writing an original screenplay, there's no limit. Do whatever you want, right? And I contend to make a really good adaptation, whether it's a remake, a sequel, a follow-up, another version of something, whatever. To me, that actually takes another truckload of creativity that screenwriters need to have already. It takes a lot and it's really difficult. And you're right, like The Dark Knight. okay, it's a Batman movie. We've had lots of Batman movies. Yeah, but that was an incredibly original film. Even though it's the original conceit, it's based on a comic book character we've already known. Okay, that's fine. But the other 99.9% of the DNA of that movie was very original. And I just think some people are talking out of their ass when they talk about, well, nothing's original anymore. Dude, that whatever movie part 3 was wildly original. Yeah. I mean, everybody limits the concept of originality to the title of the movie. Well, that's where the creativity is. No, that's where like 0.05% of the creativity is. Anyway, that's just, I don't want to go off on a whole thing, but that's a discussion we've had before. All right, what's next?
Okay, Max sends in a $25 super chat. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much,
Or not
Max.
super chat, but tip, rather. Hey, John and crew, just wanted to see if any of you have had a chance to play Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. If so, what are your thoughts so far? I have been loving it. It's my new favorite game over RDR2.
I don't know what that is.
And BOTW.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, Red Dead Redemption 2, yeah. And then thanks and have a great day.
I haven't played it.
I have not played it either. And I am still trying to play Breath of the Wild.
You enjoy that game though, right?
I like
or
the
have
game.
you hit a stumper?
No, here's the thing. I like the game. I have restarted it 4 times. Like from the beginning.
Oh.
And I'll tell you why.
Was it the same reason each time?
No, sort of.
Okay.
Sort of.
Okay.
So here's the way it is.
Let's hear this out. Come on.
So I start playing the game and it's beautiful and I love the mechanics of it. And then I get to a point and, I'm just like, all right, I'm getting through this game. Then I get to a point where it's like, this guy keeps killing me. All right. And then I give up. And then like 2 weeks later, I'll go back to it and say, okay, time to try again. It's like, I can't remember how to do anything. So I'm just going to start again. So I take it back to the beginning.
Oh, really?
So I take it back to the beginning.
Wait, you have to fight this guy? You can't run away and do something else?
I figure I don't know.
Oh, you don't do that. You don't backtrack.
No, I don't know what to do at that point. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm stuck. So I go back to the beginning because I forgot how to do everything and relearn it as I go. And then I get to that point and then maybe I beat that guy. Okay. And then I move on. And 15 minutes later, I come across something else. Like I'm walking by a river and some fucking fish keeps spitting something at me and I die. I'm like, I'm not even bothering that fucking fish. Why is it killing me?
It's the Little Mermaid.
It's the little fucking mermaid. So I give up. I put the controller down and I walk away for a couple of weeks. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to pick it back up again. It's like, shit, I can't remember how to do anything.
Waiting for you. That fish is not even in water. He's like, come on. Come on.
Oh, he's going to
start this game. Start this game.
So I can't even remember. How do I look at my inventory again? I can't even remember. So I just go back to the beginning and I start the game over. So I am about 5% of the way through Breath of the Wild at the moment.
I'll tell you what game me and Jonathan are playing in the other room. It was Trials Fusion. If y'all haven't played that game, it is the greatest. Like, what is that? A modern Excite Bike? A modern day Excite Bike?
Yeah,
that's what it is, man. It's really fun. Check it out.
All right, what's next?
All right. We've got Shekel Money who writes, hey, John, sorry if this question is too personal or rude. How exactly does making money from YouTube work? Is it per view, per like subscriptions? Does it depend on personal contract? Thank you very much.
All right. So it's a complex answer, but let me give you in real oversimplified terms. First of all, number one, subscribers don't get you anything. You can have 5 million subscribers. Doesn't matter. That doesn't make you a penny. Not a single thing. The only thing that makes you money on YouTube is views. That's it. So you want to get subscribers, sure, but the hope is you get subscribers, and the more subscribers you have, some of them will watch your videos. But again, there are YouTube channels with millions of subscribers that our channel gets more views than. There are channels that have half the subscribers that I have, but get more views than I do. It's all about views. That's it. And they have something called a CPM. It's basically works on CPM, which is, I know it sounds weird. It's cost per million, but it's not million. It's basically the CPM is a rate that you get per 1,000 views. So let's say the CPM is $4. Then for every 1,000 views, you get about $4. So if you get 20,000 views, you're talking about $16, $17, something like that. And sometimes the CPM is higher. sometimes the CPM is lower. A lot of people think though, like if you get 1 million views, that's like what do you get out of that? Like $10,000, $20,000? No, 1 million views will get about $1,500. If it's a good month, a good CPM month, maybe 2,000, maybe something like that for every 1 million views. So you got to get a lot of views.
So just like a person beginning YouTube, that's the very first thing or the only thing where they'll see money coming from, views. That's it. That's it.
Unless you get sponsorships that are outside of YouTube.
No,
but
just any regular Joe.
Yeah, first of all, obviously you got to get partnership status to become monetized on YouTube. That there's certain requirements you got to meet. YouTube, it's all very easy to find that information. How to get, it's not difficult to get partnership status and to get monetized on YouTube. It's not terribly hard. But from then, yeah, I don't think you're going to make a video with 1,000 views and get $700 in the mail. I mean, but it's all views, not subscriptions. It's all views. All right, what's next?
Jesse has a turtle writes, "Hey John, I had asked if you can add Open Mic and stuff to Spotify the other day, and I did end up finding it. It turns out Open Mic is its own channel,
yes,
and not on the main one. I subbed to both, but was wondering if there's any other channels to look out for."
Well, I mean, we did have others, but we don't really continue them anymore. Like we did After Show.
Yeah, that should be on there.
Yeah, we did a John Campea After Show channel for all the after shows we did, but we don't do after shows anymore. Well, we are going to do more after shows. We just are greatly reduced the number of the ones that we were doing. Was there another one we started?
Those were the ones that I know I was uploading. It was open mics, after shows, and the full shows.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. What's next?
All right, Sticks and Stones with a $50 tip. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness! Thank you, Sticks and Stones. That's incredibly generous of you, man.
And he says, "Yes, I'm a he, Jonathan. I'm with Ray almost every time an overly hyped movie turns out disappointing. I tend to love it. Sometimes when I go in hyped, I may enjoy the film, John Wick 4, but don't get the same buzz. But I'm a sci-fi fan. # burned. Bring on the filthy."
But I mean, if you still enjoyed it, was it overhyped? I mean, that's. Remember, all film is subjective, man. It's all about what was your experience like with the movie. And if you went into a movie that heard all these great things about it and you enjoyed it, don't matter squat what other people thought of it. I mean, yeah, listen to what other people say about a movie. Let that kind of help inform you about how excited to be or how to keep your expectations in check and all that kind of stuff. Yes, but then you go in to see the movie and then all bets are off. Either you will like it or you won't. And I would like to propose that if you go into a movie you're really hyped for and you had a great time, maybe it wasn't overhyped. It worked for you.
There's nothing wrong with being hyped. I separate that from expectations because expectations is something different to me than hype.
Yeah.
Hype, you're just excited to watch something, right?
I agree. 100%. All right. What's next?
Tack writes, "I went to see SpiderVerse 2 and people were literally groaning and saying, 'That's it?' because of the ending, and saw many people online having complained that it doesn't feel like complete because it's not. Will this have an effect on the box office?" And I don't know what WRN
I have no
is.
idea. Guys, please do not write in acronyms. Please don't. I didn't hear anybody in our theater. I didn't hear anybody grumble. Did you?
Yeah, me. A little bit. But no one heard me. I didn't do it like obnoxiously loud, but all the grumblings are for good reason. They want to see more. I mean, what's wrong with that?
Yeah. Listen, Across the Spider-Verse had the exact same kind of ending that Empire Strikes Back delivered, that the first Lord of the Rings delivered. It kind of brought to conclusion the part of the story it was at, and then ended it at a point where we're ready to launch into the next section of the story. And it did that. I mean, to me, the ending of the first Lord of the Rings film is worse. Like a lot of people. I remember in the movie theater I was in, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know at all.
When they're like, all right, there's Mordor. Let's start walking to Mordor. Like the credits roll. And people are like, what? Like they didn't understand that this is part one. Yeah, it wasn't as bad.
Now I just imagine like the sound of someone on a recorder doing the Lord of the Rings song. Like those memes.
You know,
like, wait, that can't be it.
That brings up Infinity War. Remember how that ended?
That ended great. I like the way it ended.
I
Thanos was
had
right.
no problem with that ending, actually.
Yeah, it was a definitive ending to the movie.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people say, well, the story's not done. No, the story was done. The bad guy won. Now, what happens later after the bad guy won? Then there's a new story to tell, but no, this movie finished. Thanos won. And later there'll be another story where people come out to try to undo what he did. But that's, yeah.
People want to binge movies now like they do TV series.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, what's next?
All right. Jesse Has a Turtle writes, saw your vlog this morning. You should definitely do way more of those. Super cool. Assuming that this gets answered after you've seen Spider-Verse, what did you end up ordering to eat for the movie?
It was actually very basic. I went with a very, very basic. I did my standard popcorn and soda.
Oh, that's syrup and popcorn?
No syrup?
No syrup. No syrup. A lot of butter, though, because, of course, popcorn is what, kids? A butter delivery device.
Don't say that.
And, though, Anne got this gorgeous Spider-Gwen head
She
popcorn
got the
container.
She got the special container.
Yeah, and by the time we got out of our screening, they were all gone.
All of them.
Who'd you go? Was it AMC or was it Regal? Where'd you go?
Went to AMC. We went to AMC Tyler, and had an absolutely fabulous, fabulous time.
It was packed. The Miles Morales
packed.
head was really cool too because they had the transparent eyes so you could see the level of popcorn you're at.
Yeah.
So,
All right, what's next?
All right. We got Willoughby Sting, who writes, "This is the visual of a movie reel and projectionist is so embedded in my mind that it kind of escaped me that 99.9% of cinemas haven't used them in at least 15 years, are actually distributed via hard drives. Not a question, just something I learned today."
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they're
and
digital
you know what? It
projectors.
was really the Star Wars movies. It was the Star Wars prequels that began the transition from film to digital projection. And I still remember at that time, it was, I was, a couple of buddies of mine are Hollywood filmmakers, and I remember theirs was one of the first movies, not the first, there had been others, but they were in that first generation. My friends Neville Dean and Taylor, they were making a movie called Gamer with Gerard Butler and Milo Ventimiglia. And I went to go, they invited me to come out to New Mexico and visit them on set. And they were using, it was the first time that I had been on a movie set where they were shooting digitally. They were using memory cards to do this thing. And they were like, we will never go back to using film. This is crazy. But anyway, that whole thing started the move towards digital projections and projectors. And yeah, nowadays, it used to be that these big UPS trucks had to come pulling up to movie theaters and bring out these big metal cases that held all the reels, the physical reels of the movies, and bring them in, and you had projectionists and blah, blah, blah. Now they either deliver hard drives or they download them from a central server.
Yeah. Not just that, but even in filmmaking, having to deliver dailies. I mean, back then when
crazy.
and if you're on location and you're literally shipping crates of reel, that's so scary.
It changed everything.
Because
It
if you ruin
absolutely
that,
changed everything.
yeah.
All right, listen, guys, we still have a bunch of questions to get through, but before we do, we're going to take a quick minute here and thank one of the sponsors of today's episode, our friends at ExpressVPN. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, ExpressVPN. Guys, it is 2023, and online privacy and security has never been more important. You see, every device, phones, computers, tablets, has a unique IP address, which is like an internet phone number and reveals personal information about you. It's super simple for somebody online who knows what they're doing to find your IP address. If you've ever clicked on a sketchy link or opened an email from somebody you don't know, your IP address could become exposed. Now that's where ExpressVPN has your back. ExpressVPN is an app that hides your real IP address and replaces it with a dummy one, keeping you safe and private. And you don't have to be some kind of techie to use a VPN. Guys, it is so easy to use. Just download the ExpressVPN app on your phone or computer, tap one button to turn it on, and you're protected. And if you like your streaming entertainment, here's the coolest part. They let you choose what country you want your IP address to look like it's coming from. This is incredibly useful because services like Netflix and Disney Plus give you different shows depending on what country you're in. So secure your family's online activity and unlock tons of new shows by visiting expressvpn.com/Campea. Use my link and you can get 3 extra months free. That's expressvpn.com/Campea. Go to expressvpn.com/Campea to learn more. And thank you to our friends at ExpressVPN for sponsoring this episode. All right, guys, with that down, let's keep getting to your questions here. What do we got up next?
Jay Bling is next, who writes, with Chris Morgan writing the standalone Hobbs movie, I personally hope the studio brings him onto Fast X Part 2 alongside Christina Hodson and Oren Uziel. So there's a union of the minds between the franchise veteran and the fresh hands.
Yeah, actually, it's really funny because before they announced that Chris Morgan was going to come back and write the Hobbs movie, of course, he did 6, probably the best 6 Fast and the Furious movies. And he also was the writer of Hobbs and Shaw, which I really quite enjoyed Hobbs and Shaw. And somebody wrote in the other day before this announcement came out that, man, do you think they need to try to go back and get Morgan to come back? And I said, yeah. And then like 48 hours later, they announced to come back to do the Hobbs movie. And listen, I'm just happy with that. Just leave it with him. I mean, he's not going to win any Academy Awards or anything like that, but I mean, we're going to get much better stuff than we've gotten in Fast 9 and Fast X. So
I think he'll right the ship then.
yeah, hopefully. All right, what's next?
All right, Tristan Thorpe writes, Saturday, I'm seeing Across the Spider-Verse in IMAX thanks to Regal giving me a discount.
Nice.
I already have unlimited, so this made me happy. I'm also taking my dad, who can't wait to see Spider-Man 2099. He never thought he'd see him in a movie.
I just still remember being in the theater of Into the Spider-Verse, and then the post-credit scene comes out, and it's Miguel. It's Spider-Man 2099, and how many people in that theater got excited. You could tell who knew who he was and who wasn't, but like half the theater got really, really buzzed. And I'll tell you what, Oscar Isaac as the voice of Miguel is really great.
Yeah.
I really like this character a lot.
That was my very first variation of a Spider-Man figure I've ever bought when I was younger. It was Spider-Man 2099. I didn't know anything about him, but I just saw it at KB. Anyone remember KB Toys?
Sure.
I walked in there, overpriced place.
Oh, yeah.
Just bought it.
It was way more expensive than Toys R Us.
yeah, way more expensive.
All right, what's next?
Okay, switching over to Super Chats now. Callum writes, hey, crew, now that it's ended, where does Succession rank in your all-time HBO shows? To me, it's definitely top 3.
I would have to sit here with a list of what shows were actually all HBO. I could tell you right now that even without looking at a list, it's not my top 3.
Ooh.
I mean, The Wire, Sopranos.
Oh, right.
I almost said Westworld, not Westworld.
Game of Thrones.
Oh my God, of course, yeah, Game of Thrones. What was not Driftwood? What's it called?
Yeah. Now I know.
Not Driftwood.
Deadwood.
So I'm not even sure Succession would be my top 5, to be honest, but it was great. I loved it. I mean, the finale was a little shaky to me, but that's okay. The series was fantastic. I loved it, but I don't think it's in my top 5.
Yeah, and I even put Boardwalk personally above that.
Boardwalk. The problem is Boardwalk got a
Didn't
little
end great.
shaky in its last couple of seasons, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, the first couple of seasons was like totally HBO standard.
Yep.
All right, what's next?
All right. Orange Hand writes, though you prefer mouse and keyboard over controller, I find each has its own strength. My dad bought a controller for his new PC golf game because it was easier for him to swing, whereas mouse is ideal for real-time strategy.
I'll tell you what, I will agree with you. For golf games,
Yeah,
I have a much easier time with the controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, an actual controller is easier with golf games. I do enjoy a good golf game too. But yeah, my brain is just wired for mouse and keyboard. It just, here's the thing. With a mouse and keyboard, looking around and moving is one motion with your mouse. Mm-hmm. If I want to look up, do that. If I look up and then walk, it's easy, right? Here's the biggest problem I have with controllers. I have never been able to rewire my brain to move with one stick and look around with a different one.
Right.
Never pilot a helicopter.
Yeah, right? For many reasons. But
I think
and everybody tells me if I just stick to it and keep playing it,
Right.
I just get too frustrated because like seriously, I'll sit there for 5 minutes and go, nope, and I'll put the controller down and
It's
walk
tough,
away.
man.
I got to be able to get my brain because right now my head is just wired for keyboard and mouse, and all the games I play tend to be that way, except for Mario Kart. Mario Kart, very intuitive. Mario Party, very intuitive. But anyway, all right, what's next?
All right. We've got Actors Reel to Reel writes, John, Logan Paul is wrestling now. We need WWE to bring on the filthy and see John Campea enter a Royal Rumble match to his show theme music.
You know what? Somebody sent me an amazing video.
Did they put the music?
I can't remember if they put the music in, but of me, and they did a great job making me, versus Adam Aaron of AMC Theaters.
I think I know this guy.
And it looked incredible. Like I showed it to Ann. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah,
like
I
it
think I
looked
saw it,
unbelievable. It was totally crazy. All right, what's next?
Okay. We've got Samir who writes, love Spider-Man, but experienced experience was bad.
Oh, no.
A group of teenagers wouldn't shut up during the whole movie. And when I went to talk to an employee, none were around. I walked around everywhere looking. We'll go see it again next week. Don't go to that theater if you can.
And Samir sent in a $20 super chat,
thank
Samir.
you.
So thank you so much for that. Here's the thing. Movie theaters, there's an old adage that we Canadians also hold to. Snitches get stitches. Yes, that does not apply to the movie theater. Too many people have paid money to be sitting in those seats to have an experience for some dick jerk to come in there and start ruining people's experiences. Whether it's
weekend.
one simple dick jerk or whether it's a collection of circle jerk dick jerks. And you can either be, I have no problem telling somebody to shut up.
Yeah, I'm surprised that no one else joined in on him. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
But what I would do if I were you in that theater, and you did the right thing, right? You did the right thing by going to try to find a staff member. I would go back to the theater, ask to speak to the manager, and say, look, I came to your theater to have an experience. This was going on in your theater, and I went to look for a staff person. I couldn't find one anywhere. And let them know the problem and give them an opportunity to try to come up with a remedy for the problem, right? Like, we can't expect people to solve problems that we don't tell them about. So I would go to the manager, just express, hey, I enjoy coming to your theater, but I had this experience last time I was here and there was no remedy for it. I went to find a staff person. I couldn't find a staff person anywhere. So can you figure out a way that there is always somebody available? You know what? I'm not a big fan of Alamo Drafthouse, but they do some things really, really well. And they literally give you a narc button in your seat. The one theater I was in, if somebody's acting like a jerk in theater, you just hit that button, and a staff person will come to you because they are dead serious. Listen, I got some problems with Alamo Drafthouse, but they do a couple things really, really well, and that's one of them. They treasure the in-theater viewing experience. And so if some dickwad is on their phone and won't stop, or a couple of teenagers just won't shut up, I'm talking about won't shut up. I'm not saying they say a couple things to each other here and there. I have no problem with that. But it's like constantly talking. Hit the button, staff person comes saying, those people won't shut up. They'll kick their asses out. I love that. Some people say, well, you shouldn't narc. Fuck off. In the movie theater, that's sacrosanct. I mean, that is absolutely sacred ground in there. You're going to go in there, live by the rules. Too many people are in there paying money.
You could talk outside.
Or talk outside.
Yeah, just step out if you need to say a big conversation. That's
Just go
all.
get yourself a nice thing of maple syrup and drink it.
Why are you turning all twang on me?
Yeah, get that maple syrup in you.
I go out up to them, pull out a crisp $1 bill, and say, here you go. Get yourself a nice warm cup of shut the fuck up.
Oh, damn. And then you take it back.
And then I take it back.
You rip
Give
it
that
in
back to
half.
me. You don't deserve that dollar. All right.
I thought you were about to say, go get yourself some soft serve ice cream. I was like, there's no dollar soft serve ice cream. I would know myself.
All right.
All right.
I would know.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
Amin writes, the huge success of Guardians 3 and the imminent success of SpiderVerse, I think will be what helps push Flash to 1 billion. I'm willing to bet $50 on it.
I think you're going to be $50 poorer. Remember, this is a DC universe where their films are tanking. And I'm not even talking about the Ezra Miller controversy. I'm just talking about the DC films tank. That's what they do right now. This can be a hit. Flash can be a hit. Flash deserves to be a hit. Andy Muschietti has made a great movie. $1 billion? God, I hope so. I hope so. This movie deserves it. I don't see a path to victory for it to get there. I don't see it.
We got Transformers next, thow.
Transformers, but by the
That's
way,
gonna make $1 billion, baby.
I don't know why, but I was thinking
Starting a
about
fire over
Guardians
there?
3. I was thinking about Guardians 3 today. And we're thinking, well, man, I mean, it's only made like $500 million, but I open it up, it's like at $750 million.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Guardians 3 did real well. Again, proving once again, there is no such thing as comic book movie fatigue. There is only mediocre movie fatigue. And once the comic book movies are good again, the audiences come back. But anyway.
Imagine if it was a happy movie.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
We've got Aiden Foley who writes, just finished SpiderVerse. It's goddamn brilliant. Loved it very dearly. Might be the best comic book film ever made. Watched on my birthday, no less.
So I
happy
was
birthday.
talking to a friend of mine about the fact that, again, I'm not saying definitively right now. Ask me again in a couple weeks. I said, this might be the best comic book movie ever made. And this friend of mine kind of pushed me on a little bit. Says, you're saying it's better than The Dark Knight. I'm like, okay, hold on a second. That's a fair thing to bring up. If you're going to start throwing around terms like best comic book movie ever, somebody should come back at you and say, so you're saying it's better than Logan? You're saying it's better than The Dark Knight? Here was my response. I said, that's a fair point. I said, right now, I will say this, and I reserve the right to change my answer in a couple of days or in a couple of weeks. But as an overall movie, I might give the nod to The Dark Knight. As a comic book movie, yeah, this is a better comic book movie than The Dark Knight is.
Okay.
Yeah, if that distinction makes sense.
I got you.
If that makes sense, like, I'm not even 100% sure it makes sense. I'll have to think about that a little bit more, but yeah, damn.
When you put both of them together, though, they both have fantastic soundtracks all the way through.
Oh,
the
yeah,
whole
they
movie.
do. Oh,
Yep.
but, with Dark Knight, it's the score.
Score.
With
Excuse me.
Across Spider-Verse, the score is great, but the soundtrack is awesome, too. The soundtrack is so good in that movie. All right, what's next?
Mr. 47 writes, do you and Ann ever buy the cool popcorn buckets they have when a new movie comes out? I got
Gwanda?
yesterday, and now I need the Miles one.
As we were just talking about, Ann got the Gwanda. Gwanda? Ann got the Gwen Stacy one. It's beautiful. I love it. It looks great.
She went in a line for that, too.
She did. All right, what's next?
All right. We've got Mr. 47. Oh, wait, we just did that one. Attack of the Mushi. Is there a podcast stream for Open Mic? Yes.
Ray, you want to take that? You want to answer that question?
Yes, there's a podcast stream for Open Mic. There should be a link in the description.
And also you can even not only is it, you can also find it on Spotify too. It's a separate channel from the John Campea Show.
I'm gonna get all this straightened out and actually have, like, if there's anything that we need, because a lot of people are
just asking. It's there.
Actually, actually, you know what? Bring up my screen for a second. Are you able to get to my screen for a minute?
Yeah. 1 second.
Show that, because I think we've got on here, I think Ann, this is Ann's Instagram page, and I think she did a reel here getting ready to go see SpiderVerse last night. And she got the Air Jordan collectible SpiderVerse kicks.
Jeez.
Did you just throw those?
Yes, but on a bed. They're
Yeah,
clean.
on the bed. And oh, wait a minute, is that it? Oh, I want to see
The bucket?
I want
did
to
she
see the
not
part
show the
where she
bucket?
shows the bucket. How do I see the next one in her reel?
Well, let's not run into anything I don't, or anyone
Well, it's
else
on
wants.
Instagram. I mean,
Oh,
it's
okay.
not
All right.
like-
Well, anyway, but anyway, later on, she did another video where she's holding her actual Spider-Gwen thing. Anyway,
Oh,
all
yeah,
right.
yeah. She filmed that in front of the theater, right?
All right, what's next?
That's the image right there. That's
Oh yeah,
what they
there it
look
is.
like.
That's the Gwen one she has. She bought the Gwen one because she loves Spider-Gwen, because my wife has a total crush on Haley Steinfeld. But yeah, it's awesome. All right, what's next?
All right, John Redcorn writes, to be honest, I kind of want Miles in the Sonyverse. MCU is way too crowded. He won't feel special in it. And I like the Venom films, but that universe needs a Spidey.
I had, again, the same guy I was talking to about Across Spider-Verse. We got into this discussion. He was asking me, like, so how long until they bring a live action Miles Morales? I honestly mean this with my whole heart. I think Sony would be absolutely stupid to let there be a live action Miles Morales. They are enjoying so much popularity and so much success with the animated Miles Morales. Why would you risk ruining it and watering it down and diluting it by bringing it in live action to the MCU? I would never let anybody touch it. I would say, we've got a great thing going. If Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out and it's on the same levels Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, it's going to be in, listen, I'll tell you right now, it's going to be in the conversations with fucking Godfather, Lord of the Rings, and Star Wars of the greatest movie trilogies of all time. It's going to be in that conversation. Why would you risk that? Why would you dilute that? Why would you water it down by, let's risk ruining it by
it's
having
Sony.
some live action thing coming out that could be bad? They should absolutely just stick with
Not
what
right
they
now.
got right now.
Not right now. Not in the next 10,
Not in the next,
15
yeah.
years.
Absolutely. All right, hey guys, listen, we still got a few more of your questions to get to, but we're going to take one more quick break here as we thank a couple of more sponsors of today's episode of our show, our friends at Rocket Money and my mobile service provider, and they should be yours, Mint Mobile. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Rocket Money. The average person has around 12 paid subscriptions. Think about that. If you think you're only subscribed to a handful of services, you might want to double check. With Rocket Money, you can quickly identify and cancel all of your unwanted subscriptions. Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Rocket Money will quickly and easily identify your subscriptions for you so you can stop paying for the ones you don't want and don't even use. Simply find the subscription you don't want and press cancel, and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. No more long hold times with customer service or tedious emailing back and forth. Rocket Money makes canceling subscriptions as easy as the click of a button. My wife Ann and I moved out of Burbank 2 years ago, and one of the first things I discovered when I loaded up Rocket Money was that I was still paying for a gym membership I haven't even been to in Burbank in 2 years. So stop throwing away your money. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/Campea. That's rocketmoney.com/Campea. rocketmoney.com/Campea. We want to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. From the gas pump to the grocery store, your utility bills and favorite streaming services, inflation is everywhere. Seriously, make it stop. Thankfully, there's one company out there that's giving you a much needed break. It's Mint Mobile. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. You guys know that ever since I switched to Mint Mobile, I've been saving almost 70% a month over my old phone plan. For people looking for extra savings this year, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. By going online only and eliminating the traditional cost of retail, Mint Mobile passes the significant savings on to you. All of their plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. And thank you to our friends at Rocket Money and Mint Mobile for sponsoring this episode. All right, guys. Hey, we got some more questions to get to, but I found the video. Go to my screen again. And oh no, you got to refresh it.
All right.
And now it's gonna start over. Now we got to go through the whole thing again. Everybody sit down as we watch this home movie.
Home movie time.
Nothing better than when somebody breaks out. Look at those Jordans though.
Yeah.
Those are so good. And absolutely. Then she had that cool ass SpiderVerse hat. She's got her Gwen Stacy outfit, her Spider-Gwen outfit. So this is coming up to when she actually had the popcorn thing.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
My wife is so cute.
Could you put my movie now up there?
Now let's look at a picture of Ray going fishing. All right, let's keep going here. What's next?
Eating fish.
CJ Rebirth writes, seeing SpiderVerse again today in IMAX. Also nice talking to you yesterday. Ray, sorry for not saying much. I'm shy when it comes to talking instead of typing.
Oh man!
Wait, somebody came up and talked to you?
Yeah, but you were like looking for Ann or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, CJ Rebirth was at the same showing we were.
Oh,
at.
nice.
Very good. Me and him we both had the same look on our face. We're just like, whoa,
whoa,
like best animation ever.
All right, what's next?
Okay, we've got Nerds and Normies writes, I hunted for Tobey Maguire's pee. What is that? Well, I don't know what that means.
All right, what's
Tobey
next?
Maguire's what? Feet? Okay.
Abe 10 Alpha. I'm sure it's an inside joke, but Oppenheimer is rated R. Color me shocked. Did not expect that from trailers.
I'm not surprised. It's heavy subject material, and sometimes the MPAA. Sorry, now I still call it the MPAA. It's now just the MPA. They took one of the A's out of there, but sometimes the MPA will slap an R rating if it's a really, really heavy subject matter and stuff like that. And this won't affect Oppenheimer at all because, you know, an R rating does affect box office, yes, but this was not a movie, if you looked at the trailers, that families were going to go see anyway, right? So I don't think it's going to have that much of an impact on it, to be honest with you.
Especially if they portray the aftermath of the bomb. Ooh.
I don't think they are. I don't think we're actually going to see the bomb go
Oh,
off
you think it ends with the bomb?
I think like the whole movie's about the creation of the bomb.
Oh.
I don't think we see it get used in the movie.
I do.
I think we're going to see testing of it. But
Yeah, I think we see tests. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think we're actually going to see them use it.
Yeah, because that would
on
be
Japan.
kind of yeah. All
But
right.
you know what? I got to check my history, but I think that's true. I don't think they actually ever test fired it before they dropped it the first time. So they didn't know what was going to happen.
Well,
The
we'll see.
testings came later. So that's going to be interesting.
But they tested it before they dropped it in
There were
Hiroshima.
no test fires. I think that was the first. I have to
Really?
check on that, but I think so because they weren't sure what was going
Because
to
the whole
happen.
trailer, it has Matt Damon saying, so you're saying when we press that button to test this thing, we could destroy the world.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, it's highly unlikely. So I think that's the whole thing is about leading up to the test.
Yeah, maybe there was small tests then.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
All right, I am not up on my World War II history.
I
gotta do
believe
some
in Nolan,
research on
though.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, what's next?
All right. Timothy Garrett Fulham saw SpiderVerse last night and absolutely loved it. Have you guys listened to the soundtrack yet? It's pretty great. Majority of it is produced by Metro Boomin and with tons of different hip hop artists.
You know, one of the things Ray said when we came out, we were in the car on the way home was the music was constant. The music was always thumping. And it's like, yeah, I was always like the music selections in it were so great. And it just became a part of the DNA of the movie. It was wonderful.
Yeah, whoever set that up was perfect. Going from the vocal music, the ones where you hear the vocals, just to the sounds.
Yep.
It was
totally
throughout
agree.
the whole movie. It was great.
All right, what's next?
All right. We've got John Redcorn who writes, saw on Deadline that there are concerns Little Mermaid may not break even due to it underperforming internationally. Why isn't it doing well worldwide?
No real idea. I mean, who knows why certain things do. But I mean, it's really funny when you look at different movies. Like Fast and Furious is a definitive American movie. I mean, it takes place in a lot of countries around the world. Yes, but it's muscle and cars and blah, right? Like you'd think it's an American thing. And yet Little Mermaid has made more money in America than Fast and Furious did. But internationally, Fast and Furious does quite strong internationally. I mean, it still is probably not going to break even, but it's doing very strong internationally. Whereas Little Mermaid internationally, the rest of the world isn't as interested in the movie as Americans are.
Would you consider Little Mermaid a musical as well? Do they sing a lot in it?
There is. Yeah, there's a lot of songs.
There could be some of that too, because I'm not.
It could be partially musical
Yeah.
thing. Like I'd like to look at to see how did Cinderella do internationally, and how did
Is there a way I could look that up? Is there a way while you go on to the next?
yeah,
Well,
Box Office
Box
Mojo.
Office Mojo.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd be interested, but yeah, so I have no idea why something like Fast and the Furious is doing so bad domestically and really strong internationally, or why Little Mermaid is doing fairly strong domestically but terrible internationally. No idea. I
talking about
like
the
just
2000
sometimes the things that interest Americans are different than what interests the rest of people around the world.
We're talking about the 2015
Aladdin?
Cinderella. You said
Sure, yeah.
Cinderella.
The two, yeah. With
Internationally, it did 341 million,
so what was the worldwide number?
542 million.
So it made 300 something million. I mean, so,
62.9% of the.
yeah. So who knows why certain movies do well in one and not? I'm not really sure. All right, what's next?
All right. And also, yes, the bomb was tested several weeks before, once
right.
before. Just want to make sure we got our facts straight. Lavartov writes,
It's fact checker Jonathan is back.
yeah, well, I didn't want to be kind of like sending fake information out there. I don't know, but I'd love Favreau to come back to the MCU. I would actually love for him to direct a Spider-Man project. Yeah, ex-director, but would love it.
Well, no, this one is an ex-director because, look, inasmuch, rightfully so, that we give all the credit for MCU to Kevin Feige, again, rightfully so, it was John Favreau who kicked off the MCU. It was John Favreau's Iron Man. And I remember, I admit it, when we found out there was going to be an Iron Man movie, I saw, Iron Man? Isn't he a Walmart bargain discount bin version of Batman? Rich guy with no powers that just uses his money to build toys? I admit it. And when I found out that John Favreau was directing, I'm like, the actor? That guy's directing Iron Man? Really?
Man.
Hey, this is why we go to the movies, man. This is why you play the game. Because John Favreau really kind of said, now look, I always say this, Joss Whedon's The Avengers is what really cemented what the DNA of a Marvel film and what it is. But we don't even get to that without Iron Man. And John Favreau, I mean, he really was the spark point that got the MCU rolling. And I would love for him to go back and direct another MCU film. I really would.
Yep.
All right, what's next?
All right, we've got, oh, it's the wrong one. Richard K writes, have you seen the Hidden Strike trailer? If so, though, I don't know.
Probably meant thoughts.
Yeah.
No idea what it is. No.
I saw the poster. They released a new poster, and I was like, Hidden Strike, what is that? So
What is it?
I don't know. I just looked at the poster.
Oh, okay.
Like, I have to go through graphics.
All right, what's next?
All right, Sticks and Stones writes, wife and I are going to the movies today, but we have 4 choices, Fast X, skip, ATSV, Little Mermaid, and Renfield before it leaves. To me, I'm okay to leave Renfield and ATSV Across the Spider-Verse for streaming. Oh, no, come on. Do you think this affects box office? Go to Across the Spider-Verse, skip Fast X.
You skip Fast X and go to Across the Spider-Verse.
Okay, I know what Hidden Strike is.
I mean, listen, I have some appreciation for Fast X. Skip Fast X and go to Across the Spider-Verse. It is an infinitely better movie. Infinitely better movie.
Hidden Strike is Jackie Chan and John Cena. The movie.
I heard of that. I didn't know the trailer was out for it though. Okay, yeah. So no, still haven't seen the trailer. But yeah, go see Across the Spider-Verse. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel pretty good if the Academy has the balls, but I feel pretty good. This is going to be nominated for Best Picture, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that Fast X will not. Wild guess, way out on a limb.
And I don't think anyone's stealing scenes in Across the Spider-Verse. I
No
think
Jason
everyone had their
Momoa
shine.
stealing scenes.
Everyone had their shine.
in Across the Spider-Verse. All right, what's next?
Just marking my calendar, February. Yes, February, there's going to be a John Campea rant about Spider-Verse.
Fast
not being-
X getting.
Yeah.
All right,
All
what's
right.
next?
Richard K writes, with Matt Reeves, yes. Batman 2 rumors of Clayface as the villain. It won't be a traditional Clayface. So what if they have him after he kills somebody, he puts a wax mold on them? That's real dark. And whereas the mask of their face, hence Clayface.
All right, and by the way, $25
thank you.
super chat. Thank you so much for that, man. Appreciate that very much. I mean, yeah, listen. First of all, don't believe the rumors. But Clayface, minus the supernatural elements, there's a real something you can do there. I mean, it's not that far removed from what they did with Riddler in the first one, right? And now they didn't have to take away any superpowers from Riddler, but you have a guy like Clayface, something along those lines, that either it's something that he wears or something that he leaves on his victims. You could do something very interesting with that. I still would love to see them do a Mr. Freeze a little way. Again, de-sci-fi it a little bit, leave a little bit of science magic in there, but the Clayface idea that there's a serial killer running around and he's, oh my
Leaving
God.
people on the concrete and clay.
Listen, Matt Reeves has already set up this Batman universe as a darker look at Gotham, the darkest we've ever had on the big screen. And the result to me was fantastic. So I would be all down for this. I would love to see that version of a Clayface. But again, I wouldn't believe the rumor, but still, we'll see what happens. All right, what's next?
I had no idea John Favreau directed Elf.
Yes.
I only just realized that.
Wait, Will Ferrell?
Yeah. So David Goldstein, this is our final super chat. Do you think we will see James Gunn's Batman before Matt Reeves' Batman ends its trilogy?
Oh, yeah.
Trilogy,
100%. We might see James Gunn's Batman before we see Matt Reeves' second Batman movie. He's taking his damn sweet fart in the wind time.
I
On that-
work here half the time, so.
I mean, a busy job. I know you're moonlighting here a little bit.
They've acknowledged that those two Batmans are going to exist, right? Possibly in the same.
They're not in the same universe.
No.
James Gunn acknowledged anything?
No, he
Yeah,
said it
but
was
they're not in the same universe.
Oh,
Remember,
no, I don't mean same universe, but it could be possible that both of them are in theaters or
Yeah.
like still. Okay.
Yeah, they will be. But I'm not even sure we're going to have Matt Reeves' second film before James Gunn gets his out. I mean, listen, they're not even saying, Matt Reeves hasn't even said he's finished writing the movie yet. And he's not going to be doing any writing right now because of the writer's strike. And I think we're supposed to get this, what's the name of the Batman one again? Bold and the Brave.
Bold and the Brave.
is I think that's going to come out in 2025 after Superman.
Is that James Gunn's Batman?
Yeah. I mean, he's
that's
not
gonna be his
directing it,
Batman?
but
Not
it's
directing
it's
it,
going
but
to be
it's
their
under
new
his.
Batman. I have a feeling that's going to come out before Matt Reeves' second, let alone the third one. So yeah, I think we're good there. I think we're safe on that level. All right, guys, that'll do it for today's installment of Open Mic. Thank you so much for being here and joining us for this little live stream. Big special thank you to all you guys who sent in the tip questions and the super chats. Number one, because you gave us great fun things to talk about. But number two, you supported this channel as you did it, and all of us involved here with the channel. Thank you guys so much for your support. And remember, guys, if you're watching this after the fact or whatever, and you have a question for the next installment, go ahead and use that tip link at www.streamelements.com/John Campea/tip. And if your question is appropriate to be used on the show, you'll see it answered on Monday's episode. So for Ray Ora,
Yep.
Jonathan Voico, my name's John Campea. Don't forget, guys, this Sunday we have our Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse open spoiler discussion. We hope you'll come back and join us for that. But that'll do it for us today, guys. Thank you so much. And until next time, my friends, bye-bye.